Yo, guys, make sure you check the description for timestamps on when I talk about who muscle confusion works for, how John Meadows is like Neil Peart, and what else did I talk about? Oh, how to decide when it's a good time to switch your exercises. What's up, guys? Rob Shoecraft here with Restore Fitness. Ryan, I still have your shirt, dude. Thank you. Guys, I want to talk to you today about muscle confusion. All right. Muscle confusion. I got a little script here. I want to make sure I don't get too off topic. Muscle confusion to me is it's a very old and tired topic. I feel like it's been around, gets way too much attention. It seems to go away for a while, a few years, and then resurface. I had a client and a good friend of mine ask me the other day what I thought about it. And since then, and I was kind of taken, I was like, oh, I haven't heard that term in a while. I didn't realize that was still a thing, right? And ever since then, it seems like I keep seeing all these articles about muscle confusion. And it's probably just because my phone's spying on me, but I thought I'd make a video about it, just kind of throwing my 2 cents. So how do I feel about it? I feel the same way about muscle confusion that I feel about words like core work or functional fitness or power training. Basically, they're all terms and protocols that are born out of really legitimate consideration, but they've grown up to just be something you want to slap in the face, right? They just get really annoying and bastardized, and somebody's marketing department gets a hold of it, and before you know it, well, you have muscle confusion, right? So what is muscle confusion? In a nutshell, this is me going through my notes here. It's changing up your workouts, usually through exercise selection, though it could be all sorts of different training stimuli. Changing up your workouts so often that it keeps your muscles guessing. That and proponents of muscle confusion will tell you that this is going to make you bigger and stronger, right? All these great things. And I do think it's necessary to change up your workouts, your programming, every now and then. And there are a million legitimate ways to do it. And I'll outline a basic framework, just kind of when you should change your exercises, when you should change your stimulus, whatever. I'll do that in a second here. But first, let me tell you a little bit who muscle confusion works for. Okay, not necessarily who it's best for, but who it works for. It works for a lot of seasoned bodybuilders and other strength athletes who have mastered fundamental movement patterns. And they can feel and they can appreciate all the nuanced contractions, say, in their tricep heads. You know, when they make a change to the grip, right? They got the mind-muscle connection. And there's another word that I love but absolutely hate. You just hear it too often. But anyways, folks like John Meadows, right? John Meadows, his workout programs they look like they're all over the place, right? He's got a million different things going on. He's changing exercises out all the time. He's throwing in holds and drop sets and all this crazy, confusing stuff. But if you step way back, you realize a couple things. Number one, he's got a method to it. Like there's a reason for all of it. All right. Number two, you're not John Meadows, or at least probably not. Most people are not. John Meadows' gym, I wrote here, thought it was clever. I'm not even a big Rush fan, but I do appreciate Neil Peart, his talent, rest in peace. I said John Meadows' gym is like a Neil Peart drum kit, right? If you've ever seen Neil Peart's, his drums, it's like, 360 madness, 15 different hi-hats, all this stuff, right? He's not just smacking stuff because it's in front of him. See, he's been around the block, and he's got a lot of tools in front of him, but he knows exactly how and when to use all of them. And that's the style that he spent years cultivating, okay? So The second group of people that muscle confusion works for is folks who are just new to fitness. They're just new to exercise. And I'm going to talk about P90X here, because I think that's around when I first started hearing muscle confusion just being talked about everywhere. And I wasn't even anywhere near the industry at the time. But P90X, I'm not ripping on it. It has its place. But there's so many people who are raving about it 15 years ago and how well it worked, because Tony Horton, bless his heart, got 1 million people off their couches to start sweating and to start eating right. And I'm honestly glad he did. However, it wasn't, in my opinion, the ever-changing exercise selection that he was throwing out there all the time. It was a fact that a lot of the folks who were doing P90X at the time went from doing absolutely nothing to now they're moving around, they're working real hard, they're eating right, okay? If you're new to anything, any new skill, any new activity, especially fitness, you're going to make crazy gains when you start. There's the reason people say newbie gains, green gains, all that stuff. Basically, as long as you're staying safe and consistent and recovering and eating well, anything's going to work. All right? There's nothing special about having 300 different types of push-ups in a workout. If you were to take somebody from a soldier from the P90X Army, all right, a new person starting off, they just bought the DVD, they're all geared up, and they're going hard, and you put them on just a vanilla, boring old Bill Starr 5x5 program, but you had them doing like the P90X diet, I would guarantee they'd get at least the same results, if not even better. Okay, if a new drummer takes his first few lessons on Neil Peart's drum kit, he's going to think he always needs all that crap in front of him just because that's where he first learned to count to 4. Okay, you kind of see what I'm saying there? So muscle confusion, it's really fun. I really think it is. It's novel, and it makes you sound like you kind of know what you're talking about. You're using fancy buzzwords. And if all that gets you moving, then you can get out there and you can confuse your muscles, right? But I will give you fair warning. You're almost certainly going to develop some bad habits doing 50 million different things when you don't really have a foundation. And you might even get hurt. So if you're going to do something like P90X or any of those Beachbody DVDs, or you picked something off the internet, a forum or something, and it's got 3,000 different workouts that change every single day you're in the gym, my advice would be to don't worry about how many reps they're doing on the TV. You just focus on doing them right and making sure they feel safe, right? It's going to suck just as much, I promise you. Now, I also promised you that I would talk about, in my opinion, when it's a good idea to change, let's just say make exercise changes, exercise selection. If you're going along in a program, and I made a flow chart here. This is the world's worst flow chart, especially since I just realized that that whole backwards writing thing. I don't even know why I have it. This will be for my benefit. Maybe I'll turn it into a PDF and throw a link in the description. You can check it out if you're really curious. But it's really simple. This is kind of more or less what I subscribe to. Let's ask yourself first the question, again, concerning whether or not you should make a change in your programming. Does stuff hurt? Are you safe? Is what you're doing hurting you? Does it physically cause you pain? If no, then we'll go to the next question. 1 second. If yes, maybe make a change. Now, what would that change be? It would be removing the exercise that's causing acute pain, right? Or the exercise that you wake up in the morning and be like, I know exactly what I did, right? Those exercises. Take those out. Find a substitution that works, all right? And or add exercises that are going to strengthen your weak points. And when I say your weak points, I'm talking about things that can cause injuries, muscle imbalances. I'm talking about mobility issues. Mobility is another word like that. Talking about, I always use this example. You have shoulder pain, there's a good chance that your upper back, your supporting structure is weak. So add some more exercises going to help increase that. If you have knee pain, I want to make sure your hamstrings are strong, make sure your glute medials are strong, all your supporting cast add exercises that's going to help you, okay? And take those out and then maybe revisit them later when you've slowly, right? And just one version of them, not 70, okay? So, does stuff hurt? Yes, change it up, like we talked about. No, ask yourself the following question. Are you making measurable progress? Is what you're doing getting you closer to your goal? Are you lifting more weight? Are you getting bigger biceps? Are you losing weight? Are you running faster? Are you jumping higher? Whatever your goal is what you're doing helping you get there? Are you seeing gains? If yes, then move to the next question. If no, make a change. What does that change look like? Well, it's going to depend. It's going to vary like crazy depending on what your goals are and who you are and what you've been doing. But very basic example would be discussions of assistance exercises. Find out where you're weak. Let's say if you're a power lifter, right? If you're weak in the lockout, you're probably going to need to strengthen your triceps. So maybe you throw some floor presses into it. You could do a lot of exercises that are going to help your weaknesses. And in some cases, you could even add exercises that are going to help you make your strengths even stronger. But usually it comes down to making your weaknesses stronger. The whole Dave Tate, we'll say, this is a family channel, right? Crap, suck. I don't remember what it is. But anyways, make your crap, bring it up to at least a suck level, if you know what I'm talking about. If not, just get better at what you suck at. And then, okay, so yeah, are you making measurable progress? No, then make a change. If yes, ask yourself the question, are you staying engaged? Are you not too bored? All right, adherence is really important, all right? We're all human beings. We all like to chase the next shiny thing. Just make sure you're doing it for the right reason. Are you really so bored with your workout that you feel like if you don't make a change, you're going to stop going to the gym altogether, right? You got to be honest with yourself there. And before you go to the make a change action, let's go back. See on my little flow chart here. We go back to the are you making measurable progress, right? Before you get too excited and go chase the next thing, look back and try to get excited about the progress you're making, the reason that you started working out in the first place. If that fuels you to keep going, you're staying safe, you're making progress, then change that boredom into getting excited about making progress and getting toward going closer to your goals. All right? If you go down this line here of those 3 questions, then you're going to wind up at stay the course. Keep doing what you're doing, right? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That whole thing. Now, of course, there are times where even when you're making progress, you want to change what you're doing, right? There's block periodization, things like that. But have a plan and follow it. What I would say is really what this kind of pertains to is folks either totally flying blind, no real plan, they just kind of go in the gym and start doing stuff. Or I would recommend you don't do that. It's better than nothing until you get hurt. But I would recommend that if you are in a program, and let's say it's an 8-week program and you're 6 weeks in and you're just so bored, so done with this, right? Go back, check out your progress, and maybe make a promise to yourself, okay, it's working. Even though it's working, I'm going to see it to the end. I can make it 2 more weeks. I've been making great gains. And then I'll switch my program. Then I'll try the next thing, or I'll change some of my exercises out or whatever, but at least finish it, okay? So that's kind of where I'm coming from. That's the muscle confusion. That's how I like to confuse things. I have to put a little bit of thought behind it. You may or may not agree with me. That's all right. I'd love to hear what you think. Chime in the comments. Please subscribe to this channel and have a wonderful day. Thank you, guys.